How you doing, people? I ain't doing too bad. I do what I want to do, pretty much. As long as I just keep my evils and wickedness to myself, and I do not trespass upon the rights of anybody else, because that's where everybody's rights are limited only to the rights of every other individual. It has nothing to do with government granting us rights. That government does not own us. We own the government, people, and it's time to take accountability for the government. And a good way to put it in check is, you know, all these police officers are generating revenue for the corporation government. They're handing out all these tickets. It don't matter if you're driving down the road or jaywalking or selling pot or selling meth or whatever, heroin, it don't matter. If people want it, they're going to get it anyway. But they're profiting off it, and they're profiting at the people's expense. We are imposing our own oppression through the ignorance of how the court system is set up for us to work. It's set up for us, not the corporation. But they have manipulated you to think that they run the show. They don't. We do. And we show them how we run it through the court. Think these 12 clowns up at the Supreme Court, you think you need them to tell you what is good for you and not good for you? No, you don't. You know what's good for you. The only thing that Supreme Court can do, and its only authority, is to make decisions on the federal government, not on the people. People, we own this place. It's ours. Wake the fuck up. Anyway, the police officers, they are assassinating people, right and left. Just flat out assassinating people, and they are doing their administrative leave, paid administrative leave, and going back to work. Nothing's ever said, because the police are the generators for their revenue, and they're also their protectors. The police protect the corporation by controlling the population. And they're enforcing tyranny and oppression for the corporation. And we're allowing it to happen, people. Tell everybody you know this message. Whenever you have an encounter with a policy enforcement officer or a police officer, whatever you want to call him, he has no authority over you. You are authority of yourself. You're accountable for yourself. Now quit bowing down and kissing these bastards' ass, and let's take this country back. When you have an encounter, remember, don't go into the courts and just pay them. Take your cause to the jury box. Because every one of us are going to be pooled to be on the jury panel. And when you're pooled to be on that jury panel, you just have to remember one thing, that court is our court. It's our weapon. It's our tool. The jury is our weapon. Excuse me. That court is our tool. See, if legislators are passing unwarranted laws that the people are not in favor of, then you show your dissidence and you break the law that they have passed. And when they write these citations and bring you in as a defendant on these charges and try to extort your money for doing nothing that you hurt anybody, nobody's been injured, there is no need to be going to jail, there's no need to be forced to hand over your funds or be locked in a cage for hurting nobody, people. And that's what's wrong with America. That's it. We need to start showing our dissidents, our civilian dissidents, be a non-belligerent civilian of America, the country. Don't be a citizen of the United States of America. A non-belligerent civilian. And let's take this country back. It's ours. And if we apply this right, and see, if you tell everybody you know to watch this video and hear it, what I'm saying, and anytime you have an encounter with a policy enforcement officer, you plead not guilty, you take it to court, and you demand a jury trial. And everybody, tell everybody you know, quit feeding the corporation. This is our way out. The court is our way out, people. I can't emphasize it enough. One of you people are going to hear me, and you're going to fucking ring a bell, and you're going to say, hey man, that man knows what he's talking about. And yes, I do. I've been in the legal system for well over 30 fucking years. I've seen every trick in the trade these motherfuckers can throw at us. And I know how the system works. I've studied it. I don't have a law degree, but I got a law library. I don't have a history degree, but I got a history library. You know what I'm saying, folks? I do my reading and I understand how the thing works. And it is set up as our tool, the courtroom, and the jury. You are the weapon to defeat tyranny and oppression created by the government by being able to repeal unwarranted laws. There is no law that is justifiable that trespasses upon the rights of any man. No corporation can tell no human being what they can and cannot do. Much like you cannot tell me, and I cannot tell you. See, people, we can take this country back, and we can do it peacefully, or this ball's going to start rolling and it's going to get so fucking bad that total chaos is going to ensue. And humanity will be changed forever. Once that ball starts rolling, you're not going to just stop it. The momentum is going to increase, and it's going to have the snowball effect, and shit's going to get big and deep and fast. And who knows what them psychotic motherfuckers up there pulling the fucking strings on the puppets of government are willing to do. You don't know what they're willing to do. Shit, they got their luxury hotels and underground. Let them have it. I wouldn't want to be underground. I perfectly fine being on my Mother Earth. And it's our duty, folks, to make sure that our children have a chance to prosper. Let's just take this country back. It's time. Doom, I'm looking at you. You got 43,000 subscribers. I'm reading your messages all the time on all these people who just love you. And you're so willing, Professor Doom, to want to help humanity. Why don't you get this message out? Help me get this message out, Professor Doom. I'm calling you. I've called that Dabu 7 on this to help humanity, and he blew me off. And I've been doing these videos. I don't care if I have a subscriber one. I don't need a subscriber. I don't give a fuck if I have one. I don't care if you like me or not. I have a truthful way, and I just want the truth. And I want Americans, I want all people in general, to be free of government. Yes, we need civil law, but we do not need corporate law. We do need guidelines. But we don't need to be ran. You're an adult. You stopped asking your parents for permission probably when you were 15, 16 years old. Me, I did it when I was 10, 11, 12. I lived out in the country, so it didn't matter. But anyway, you ask this corporate government for everything. Every fucking move you make, you ask them if you can do it, whether it's go to work or go to the store. And you willfully pay tribute to them so they'll let you do it. What the fuck is the matter with you people? We can take this country back. I can't. I can only get the message out there. And apparently I ain't getting the message out there right, because there ain't nothing going on. I don't see anybody out there pleading not guilty. And I don't see any of the jurors going in there and finding the defendants who are charged for unwarranted bullshit laws. They're being charged and found guilty. I don't know if people aren't pleading not guilty. I don't know. It's got to work for everyone. Just stand up individually. Enough is enough. No more government interference in every aspect of our lives, people. We can start taking this country back, and we can do it peacefully through this peaceful resolution. It's a revolution and it's a solution. And it'll work, I guarantee it. And it's the same thing with the income tax. If y'all went exempt, refused to pay them, everybody refused to pay them motherfuckers. What are they doing with your money? They're blowing up sovereign countries, killing innocent men, women, and children. Every bomb that's dropped over there, people, has your name on it and my name. And I am not compliant. I do not consent. There is no willful consent in me whatsoever. That's why I stand up here, and that's why I get on this goddamn thing and do what I do. I'm a terrorist according to them, because I believe in freedom, and I believe in liberty and the rights of man. Anyway, that's the way to the truth of getting this shit straightened out, folks. Anytime you have an encounter with a policy enforcement officer, do not attempt to argue with him. Let him do what he's gonna do. He will kill you. He will get paid for killing you. He will get a week's vacation or 3 weeks vacation, and he will go back to work, and you will be dead. How's your family going to feel about that? When you going to stand up? When it's your dad that this happens to? People, show your dissidence. I'm telling you, that is how it happens, is in the courtroom. I don't know how else to tell you this. I've been doing it, and I've been doing it, and I've been doing it. I'm talking, I'm blue in the face. Somebody please hear me and get this fucking word out. Because I want my grandchildren to have a chance. And I want it to be a greater chance than a snowball's chance in hell. I don't want them to welcome death over life. And that's what it's rolling into. If that ball starts rolling, you all might as well fucking be praying for death. Because it ain't going to get pretty, people. Yeah, it is going to get pretty. Pretty fucking ugly. And there ain't nothing that anybody's going to be able to do to take back what we have today. It's going to change forever. But we do have a chance if we take it back now before the ball rolls. They know we have them running. We don't have them running. We have them in a stalemate now. They don't know what to do. They can't figure it out. But they're planning and they're planning. And until we take over the courts and put them to work the way they were designed to work, is our tool. And the jury is our weapon. Through jury lawlessness, you will nullify the jury, creating a stall in their generation of revenue. And when that happens, they will repeal the fucking laws that are bullshit, that are victimless. And we can get this country back. One victimless crime at a time. Do your part. Not guilty. It don't matter if it's a speeding ticket. If you're shoplifting, you're stealing, motherfucker, I'll break your fingers myself if you do it around me. Because you're doing wrong. But if you're driving 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, you ain't doing nothing wrong. If you're driving without a driver's license, you ain't doing nothing wrong. Quit pleading guilty. It's a scam. It's just a way to make them have more power over you. You will think that you're getting a deal. No, you're not.
Every time you take it to the box, it don't matter if the jury finds you guilty or not. I've done it a couple times, and they give you the same amount of fucking time as they give you on the plea deal. Help me out, people. Somebody, get this word out. I'm not going to go on about anything else. This is how we save humanity. This is how we return our country to its rightful owners. There is no other peaceful way, people. We are individuals, but we are one in the courtroom. That courtroom is ours. And if y'all just do a little bit of research and understand how that courtroom works and how it's supposed to work instead of how they are working it, then this country would be a whole different place. Their tyranny and oppression, you wouldn't have to have a license to sell lemonade on the corner. You wouldn't have to have a driver's license. What's a driver's license? It's paying tribute to these motherfuckers. Every fuel tax and your tire tax pays for the roads, people. You build them. I build them. The government doesn't do it. We do it. They appropriate the funds that they thieve from us. But that's our money. It's our labor that produces the highways and the infrastructure. We don't need to be lining the pockets of these maggots who have bought and stole our country from us. It's up to you, and it's up to me. I do my part. Every time I have an encounter with a policy enforcement officer, I try not to get ignorant with him. I try to tell him that I'm a natural human being, and I try to bring him onto the human being level. I usually go to jail because I ain't got a driver's license. That's the only thing I get in trouble for. Because they deny me a license. They say I'm unfit to drive. But I've been driving for 40 years. I drive without a driver's license. And it's not really driving. When you look into how the whole scam worked out, you understand that you're traveling unless you're getting paid. But that's not here nor there, people. This is about taking our country back through the court system. Not the legal system, not the just us system, the court system. See, they've turned it into a just us system, to where it's just us. And we need to turn it back into the court system. It's plain and simple. Plead not guilty, and when you're pooled and you're chosen to be on the jury panel, if there is not a victim, there is not a crime. That man is not guilty. That woman is not guilty. Quit aiding and abetting the extortion of your fellow human being. Would you rather your fellow human being who actually funds our society by buying milk and eggs and gasoline and traveling around this little area, would you rather him be able to continue to do that? Or would you rather extort his money and threaten him with the loss of his liberty and freedom and have him pay this corporation who has squandered every one of your rights and my rights? I can't make up your mind for you. That's your own choice, your own opinion, your own belief. I do believe that I think just, and I do believe in truth and justice. And if somebody will just help me get this message out to the people, and we can start taking this country back, folks, before something drastic really happens, because I'm not shitting you. I've been around over 50 years, and I've done a lot of this and a lot of this. Like I said in my other videos, my pa, he told me, boy, you got 2 eyes and you got 2 ears. You only got 1 mouth. You should be watching and hearing 4 times as much as you're running that mouth there. And I took that to heed. And I pay attention to everything that's going on around me, and I'm aware and alert of everything. This mind up here is in the middle of a short circuit on everything he sees going on. The thought, my thought and your thought. And get this thought in your head that I have about taking our country back through our court system set up for us as our tool against tyranny and oppression, and the weapon is the jury. Just as the corporation has police officers as their protection, we have the people. The people have the people. The people are pooled into the jury to be their. The jury panel is the people. See where I'm coming from, folks? It's simple. It's simple. And once we learn to do this, once you people learn to work that court system the way it is intended as your protection and your tool against tyranny and oppression, this government's going to be in for a rude awakening. It will bring it to its knees. They will not be able to schedule trials, for one thing. Their trials will be, if everybody just went in and pled not guilty, the trials would be scheduled so far out, you might even forget it's there. But you better pay attention to that. Don't dishonor the courts. Always be in honor with the courts. Never dishonor them, regardless. That is the one thing, because when you go dishonor with them, they will show you what dishonor will get you. Anyway, people, please, somebody help me get this message out. I know I keep rambling on about it, just like other people do their thing. This is my thing, folks. And I see that with the flat earth, globe, and the manipulation of the mind, if they're controlling your earth and they're controlling your mind, they control you, see? Come out of the illusion. Wake up and start using the court. Learn the court. Be eager, should I say, to go serve on the jury. Because you know in your heart, if you make your decision, you render your decision based on your own moral conscience and conviction, your fellow human being over here on the defense of the corporation, on the offense, trying to extort his money, you use your moral conscience and you will know that man didn't do nothing wrong and he don't need to be extorted and he don't need to be threatened by this corporation. The man owns the corporation. The corporation don't own the man. And that's how we keep our government, that's how we check this government, people. That's how we check it. I guarantee you, it'll work. But I can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. And that's why they keep us all divided so much, see? And now I'm going on further than I wanted to go on anyway. I just want to get the message out. When you're pooled to serve on a jury and you're selected to be on that panel, and this defendant is being charged for a victimless crime, don't let that judge manipulate your mind. Use your own moral conscience and conviction. And if he has wronged a nobody, fuck that corporation. That's what they do to you. They fuck you. They fuck you in the ass with no Vaseline. And it's time to fucking fuck them back. And this is how we do it. Thanks, folks. Have a good evening. Peace out.